Looking at things in policing over the past 33 years, especially in the past year and a half after the George Floyd murder in Minneapolis, I think it's more important now than probably ever in the history of our country that police officers are held accountable, that what they do is transparent, that what they do is done right, and when they do something wrong, that they get held accountable. And in Green Bay, the person that is ensuring all those things happen is Captain John Balza.
If something happens clear across the country, it will affect how citizens view their local police department. And obviously, if something happens at their local police department, you can lose the community shortly. What drives me is to make sure that the Green Bay Police Department, at least, is never that department, that we're not going to disappoint our communities, we're not going to betray our communities, and what we're doing at our department are what the community wants us to do, and that we are trustworthy in carrying out our duties.
Many times, people will call up and they'll make a complaint to an officer because they're mad they were arrested or because they got a citation or whatever. And it's Captain Balza's job to determine the truth of that matter, whether it's to vindicate the officer and saying he did everything right, or whether it's to hold the officer accountable. My
parents instilled probably not what they would have called it in formative years, but a very ethical foundation, very true to the beliefs in right and wrong. There's an absolute need to do things right and right by people and fair for people. So that is the way I do everything in my life and my job.
I think what stands out about Captain Balza is his integrity. I don't think there's a thing anybody could do to get him to compromise his integrity and to cover up something or to look the other way on something or not ask those tough questions. And that's a very difficult thing to do when you're investigating people that you've grown up on the job with, that you've been associated with for decades, to go into an interview room and ask those tough questions and hold that person accountable. There's not a lot of people that can do that, and John Balza is one of the few people that can.
The position that I was in, which was the captain of the Professional Standards Division, isn't a position that would get recognition. It's an administrative position. There's a lot of stuff that's behind the scenes. A lot of the investigative part is sealed and confidential type information. So in general, it would not be a position that would get much recognition to begin with. For Chief Smith to find a way to nominate me and to get me the award within the constraints of what we can and can't talk about was very surprising and humbling to know that I guess someone else appreciated your work.
Because of the hard work of Captain Balza and because of his high standards, you have a better police department here in Green Bay. You have a department that is more ethical, more responsible, more constitutional in their policing, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to the oversight, the watchful eye of Captain Balza, Professional Standards, Internal Affairs Investigations.